cars match my dress. Color coordinated with cars. That'll boost auto sales. You buy a car that matches your dress. Sorry.
Like your purse.
Anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
Auto superstores like Auto Nation rejiggering their lineups to include more big cars. Yeah, big cars. Surveys finding that the automakers are advertising their big SUVs, not eco or green cars. Americans buying about the same amount of Suburbans last year as Mini Coopers, despite those high gas prices last year. All the quantitative indicators point to a persistent appetite for big cars in the U.S. of A. So why are the big three going small at the New York Auto Show, despite those findings that we all favor the big boy cars? Why don't we find out from Shivani Joshi, shall we? We're hanging on to Michigan Republican Thaddeus McCotter as well. We're not letting him leave the bar. We're going to talk to him about GM's intense preparations for bankruptcy. But first, Shivani, welcome, and tell us why all the emphasis on the teeny-weeny cars and the GM Segway scooter.
Well, so you can buy a car for every day of the week or to match whatever outfit you have, because when they're cheap, you can get more than one. We're standing here in front of these smart cars, but guys, there really is an emphasis. Bigger, not necessarily better at this year's auto show for two pretty simple reasons. First and foremost, we have our jobless rate in this country at 26-year lows. People don't have deep pockets to buy, and if the automakers want to sell cars, they gotta be cheap, and these are some of the cheapest cars on the block. This is actually not a big three car maker. This is the smart car you may have heard of. The cheapest model runs you $11,000. The other reason is credit is so hard to come by. So a lot of people can't buy these bigger, more expensive cars because how are they going to finance it? And that really is a theme that we've been seeing all throughout the day here at the auto show.
Shivani Joshi, thanks for joining us. Those are great go-go boots you got matching the cars over there, too.
Oh, you're supposed to be looking at the cars, not her boots.
Oh, the cars were fantastic. Love the cars.
I have to tell you guys that we had a lot of the, we had the president of BMW North America on my show today.
Yeah.
A lot of these cars, you know, electric, hybrid, people aren't buying these cars that they want trucks.
Right, and so that's just it. You know, I actually 6 months ago for several weeks in a row used to make fun of the automakers because you just knew, and I was saying this, they're going to end up with all of these, the Detroit ones are going to end up rolling out the hybrids, and oil will be back at $30 a barrel and gas will be back at $1 a gallon, and guess what? That's where we are. How about it? When are we going to get this fixed? Why can't we break them up into 10 each?
This has always been a problem. The government has had a predetermination as to what people should buy. They've done everything they can to change what people's tastes are, what their incentives are, what they do to buy a car. And yet, too many people in the government have never driven a Prius through South Dakota in a snowstorm.
Or one of those little smart cars. I don't want, I mean, they're cute and everything. Great to park in New York City. I don't want to be in one of those little cars. Boy, I get smashed like a cockroach and by an SUV. Are these little cars safe?
La cucaracha. No. They are
Did
first.
Did you say La Cucaracha?
Cucaracha.
He stole it from me. Come on, give us some credit.
I love it.
If I have to give you credit for stealing
Congressman McCotter,
I like you out of
sense of
DC.
humor.
You're fun out outside.
But the point is, every car has a specific purpose for the person who makes the decision it's best for them.
Yeah.
And that's why when people decide they want an SUV, or people decide they do want a hybrid, it's their individual decision, and they go into the free market to find the company that makes the one they want to buy. The government does not like this. This is why with 15 people out from the Auto Task Force to talk to GM, it's starting to be a question of when the Obama administration put forward policy goals, really policy goals for the auto companies, greener.
But you're also
That's not a profitability goal and target.
You did vote for welfare for the car companies from my TARP money that was originally supposed to go to Wall Street.
You never voted for that. That was a department.
Okay, but you did come on the show and say that, yes, since we've got the money there, we should give it to the car companies. And now here we are. GM's going to go bankrupt anyway. It was all for naught. Wasted $18 billion of mine.
Well, you get it back when they're profitable. I don't know the government's going to let it go.
Congressman,
but you won't get that back from the Social Safety Net.
Today, 15 members of the administration landed in Detroit, in Michigan, to go and meet with GM. Have you gotten any updates today about what they're talking about or the status of those negotiations between the administration and GM?
No, but generally if 15 people from Washington land in your neighborhood and tell you they're there to help, don't answer the door.
Run!
But seriously, I mean, this is either going to be a bankruptcy in 3 weeks, which was reported yesterday by Reuters, or this is going to be a restructuring without a bankruptcy but breaking the company apart.
I mean, isn't it the same thing?
Yeah, but what the heck is the difference?
I don't understand what the difference is. Why do you
the bondholders and the unions is the difference of the bankruptcy.
And the problem, though, to real working people, again, which is why I support it any way we could to avoid a shock, is the uncertainty now has spread. When the viability plan showed 50,000 people in a best case scenario, we understood that. We could try to meet that. People could get ready. They could do the math in their head. Am I potentially someone who's going to lose their job? Now they have no idea what's going to happen. The government dropping 15 people in the dead of night doesn't tell us what to expect.
We've just got about
10, 20
seconds left on this, but you know, the fact is, I just did a report the other night on America's Nightly Scoreboard, and Chrysler had 100,000 employees, 2003. They had 80,000 employees in 2006 when Cerberus took it over, and here I've been giving Cerberus billions and billions in welfare in the name of saving jobs. They're already down to 40,000. When does it stop?
Hopefully soon, because if not, then that social safety net that we both love so much is going to have these poor people put on it to retrain them, to try to keep them in their homes. They won't. It will exacerbate the credit crisis when they're foreclosed on. Michigan's looking at an economic Katrina, the human cost of which, no matter how well things go from now on, is still going to be enormous.
Yeah. Prop up the shareholders until we prop up the employees.
And I can speak for, I feel for you and everybody in your state. I really do. I mean, I don't know which way it's going to turn out, and there is a lot of outrage over the bailout, but I feel for people losing their jobs. I've been saying, don't fire. Congressman McCotter, thank you very much. Good to see you.
Seriously, thanks for coming to the bar finally.
Nice to meet you in person finally, Congressman.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone. And stay with Fox Business, because after half